Hello everyone, this is DanTech USA, and what you are looking at, I don't know how rare these things are. There are a few shops I found online that still sell this, but this is the Zaptor 3, or the Zaptor 1.6. And what this does is allows you to modify your Xbox, your original Xbox, if you don't have any soldering skills. Now, I always call this thing the spider because, well, it's got 5 little prongs. And I'm sorry for the guy who was watching this on eBay that I kind of just snapped this out from under. Man, my cat wants attention. Sorry. Hi. Anyway. Anyway. Where was I going? Oh yeah, kitten wants attention. She likes the Zaptor. Boop 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 boop. Anyway, if you have no soldering skills like I don't, this actually attaches to the motherboard, and there are prongs, which I'll put a display up. That each one of these little 5 holes attach into. These little 5 prongs go into 5 holes in the motherboard. And manipulating this one in particular, the one right by the screw, has a tendency to snap at the base. And I am really debating if I want to mod my Xbox or not. I already have one of those. Because these fuckers, these guys are rare. Like, really rare. Not expensively rare. I got this for like $40. You can get them for 30. But the shop I tried did not take my credit card, and I don't know why. I was buying international, probably, because it was a shop in Germany. These are rare, but even still rarer is the mod chip. So this spider that I just mentioned goes to this. Now, you could solder this to your Xbox yourself if you wanted to. This is the Executor 2.6. You can find them on eBay, but a little difficult. These are more common than this. These are really hard to find. In fact, I was searching for 2 years. That shop wouldn't take my card. I tried every possible means of trying to get it. I can't remember the site. If I can think of it, I'll throw it on the... I'll have a little thing in the comment below, in the description. Yeah, this is really hard to find, but I could be wrong. These could be everywhere. Really hard to find. So I am debating whether or not to mod my Xbox or not. However, you need to have a 1.6 BIOS flashed on here, which I do. This is pre-modded. This is a pre-flashed chip, which, you know, you can buy a reprogrammer, but good luck finding one. They're also pretty hard to find. However, if anyone does have anything like that, let me know, because I am looking for parts. But yeah, this is the Executor 2.6 mod chip.
Like I said, with the Executor 2.6 CE chip, if you buy it retail or buy it brand new, if the seller is genuine, it will not have a BIOS on it. Now what you're going to have to do is burn this to a disk where it says X2 5208 V6 Plus. Now if you don't have a 1.6 Xbox, you're going to use this one. But make sure you have the Excalibur chip. If it's an Excalibur chip on the video encoder, it's a 1.6. If you bought the 1.6 Spider, it's a 1.6. You're going to rename it to BIOS bin. This one. To BIOS.bin. You're going to burn that to a disk and follow the on-screen instructions that Cromwell tells you. And it will flash this BIOS to the 1.6 chip.
This is optional. You don't really need it, but it helps to have. But if your chip's already programmed, you don't need this unless you want to turn off the chip. But since Xbox Live has been shut down, You don't need it. You really don't. But yeah, this red thing here is my extra one, which is that right there, by the way. That comes with the Zaptor. This actually hooks to the Xbox. That little hook provides power to the chip. And once I take apart the Xbox, I'll show you where that goes. And that's if I decide I want to mod it. But first, I got to show you guys how to determine what version your Xbox is. This will work with any version of the Xbox, but this one in particular will only work with a 1.6 because it has a 1.6 BIOS flashed on it. But I'll show you the differences. There is a video encoder chip on the Xbox, which I'll point out in a minute, which it says Excalibur on it. If it says Excalibur, it's a 1.6, guaranteed. This goes here. I'll show you where this hooks up. I don't know if I want to install the spider. I'll try it. Because these points are really easy to break. I have broken 3 Zaptors in my life out of the 7 I've used, which is still over 50% success rate. But these are really flimsy, so if you're not careful, they will snap. Especially the long one, because it wraps around and goes right there. I will show a picture of how it's supposed to look attached to the motherboard. It's not fun. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Alright, another way to tell is the manufacture date. Any Xbox produced around 2004, September, and onward is a 1.6. I mean, this is the earliest one I've ever seen that's a 1.6. Because usually 2004 is a 1.5 or a 1.4. You know, I've seen 1.4s at 2004 because my other Xbox is a 2004. So yeah, just be aware that's another way. I've already started the disassembly process. But there's a total of 6 screws. 2 of them are hidden. One's here. Shit. One's here. And one's here. And then there's usually rubber feet right here, but I took those off. I need to find them so I can get them put back on. And these are Torx 10 screws, so make sure you have a Torx 10 screwdriver. Actually, it's Torx, but whatever. Yeah. And basically, you just unscrew it. All 6 of them. This part's kind of boring, so yeah, I'm going to move on and disassemble the rest, and I'll get back to you when it's all done. See you in a bit. See, this is how you know this one's been used big time. I'm going to clean the motherboard a little bit, but right there is where the Zaptor goes. And those 5 portholes are, you know, around the area. I'll have to look again where they go. Let's see here if I can get... Anyway, this is how you know it's been used. I need to clean this thing out, and I will. It's dusty. This here is a Phillips drive, which I haven't seen Phillips in an Xbox ever. But this one actually will open. It does not have the stuck tray issue, which I like about that. Now, the goal is to get a larger hard drive. This is the 8 gig standard that comes with it. So I'm going to get a larger hard drive, but first I'm going to mod the Xbox so I can back it up. Once I figure out how to install the spider without fucking it up. Because I have done that before. But I've also gotten it to work, so it's 50-50. Now, modding Xbox is fun because basically what you do So you have to unscrew. This is going to be fun to film. That one right there comes off. But I'm not sure what Torx this is. It's the smaller Torx. The other ones was a Torx 10, so I'm assuming like a Torx 8. I'm guessing, I could be wrong. My screwdriver kit. And this big screw here is like a double screw. And I'll show you that in a second. Now let's talk special screwdrivers. Only with the modded Xbox have I seen this. This top thread comes off. You screw the bottom thread down there in that hole, and then you put the top back on once you have the spider attached. That's the cap screw down there. This is why you use magnetic tip screwdrivers, by the way. Let's see, you gotta very carefully insert that screwdriver into that hole. Now I'm gonna shut the camera off because I can't do this while filming. Because there is a very good chance, if it'll focus, there's a very good chance you could strip that. So you gotta be really careful. And my hands are really shaking right now. But that's from the medication I'm on. So this should be fun. What you do is just take really small turns until you get it in. Because you could very easily thread that. You see that top screw there? You could very easily break that while you're screwing that in. And if you do that, well, good luck getting the Zaptor installed. So yeah, I'm going to finish this real quick. I'll be right back. Now for anyone who's ever taken an IT course, the rule is snug, not tight. You want it snug in there, not tight. Now, you take your spider and you slip it onto the screw. And my hand's in the way. Let me switch. You kind of want it like that, but you also want the contacts to be where they're supposed to be. Of course, go loose. So you can, when you get to the point of putting on, okay, yeah. When you put on the capstone here, I call it the capstone, the cap screw, make sure this isn't too tight so you can move it around. You can always tighten it up later. Because you want this to be seated just right. And these 5 points I will do off camera. I'll just show you a picture of it installed. Because I cannot manipulate this while filming without snapping them, because number 1 here is already pretty loose, and I'm worried it's going to snap right off. The rest felt fine, but number 1 kind of concerns me. And it'll probably break. And given how, I don't know how rare these are, but damn. They're not easy to find. So hopefully this will work, and I'll have a modded Xbox. Again, just start screwing it down. It'll match the thread, hopefully. And it's going to pull up a little bit there, but don't worry about that. You'll feel it tighten. There it is. That's where you stop, as soon as you feel it tight. Now it's up a little bit. You don't want it too tight. That way you can wiggle it into position. Because it should. It probably already is in position, but nope, that's not. It shouldn't be doing that for one. You want to wiggle it till it's tight. Oh, shit. And try not to touch the contacts, because they're very brittle and can easily snap off. Now for the fun part. These 5 contact points go in specific little slots in the motherboard. I'll show a picture again. But basically, let's see. You want to grab a flashlight or something and shine down. And there's guides on the internet that show you how to install this. And I recommend you follow that guide. Have it on your computer screen or something while you're doing this. This part is where I usually fail, because these things will snap off. The only one I remember off the top of my head is you. But you go like right here. There's like a little hole right there where that goes in. This one is the one that sucks, because it wraps all the way around and it goes in right there in that little hole. Because this you have to wrap around, which is a pain in the butt. These are not too bad, but this one's really flimsy. I'm a little worried about that one. It feels like it's going to snap right off. This one feels fine. This one feels fine. You feel a little loose too, but I'm not worried about where you go. Because you go right here, actually. I know where you go. You're the easy one. It's right behind this chip. Right there. I'm going to double check that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it goes right there. If not, it'll be fixed. So I'm going to get the contacts installed, and we'll see if this will actually mod. Now, to verify if you have a 1.6, this board right here, this chip will tell you. If it says Excalibur, I don't think if you can read that or not, and you can't. If that chip says Excalibur, it's a 1.6. And it's Excalibur spelled with an X. Because I know you can't read that because of my overhead light. Because I doubt you can see that. No, you can. If it says Excalibur, it's a 1.6. And just in case I do bust this and then this doesn't work, this little red thing here hooks into this little contact point right there. I don't know what chip that is, but I always say it's catty corner from where you plug in the video out. And that's if you don't have a 1.6 only. If you have a different Xbox, you don't need it. And I didn't get it in all the way. But that's where it goes. So I'm kind of glad I have this extra hook, because this is new. This will probably hold. And on the other end, it plugs in right there to the chip. It's the red one. And the faceplate control plugs in here. Simple stuff. Like I said, this is pre-flashed. It will work out of the box. Like, if this was a brand new chip, you'd have to flash it with a BIOS of your choosing. Because it's actually illegal to buy it pre-flashed. You have to buy it with the Cromwell flash. But modding your Xbox is not illegal. It's just not. But the Xbox is dead, so no one cares anymore. So, that's pretty much the Spider almost installed. Now, the part that I'm dreading is coming up, where I gotta manipulate the pins into their holes without snapping them off. Well, I got a 50-50 chance, so screw it. I forgot to mention, make sure you actually unplug the ROM drive from the header and take off the ROM drive before you start. 2 of the 3 are in. You can't really see where they go, but like I said. However, you can also plug in the Xbox and turn it on, and they'll light up if they're in right. There'll be 5 lights over here. So I'll test that once I know I have them in. I'm leery about this one because it feels like it's already going to snap. So I don't know. But I will try to continue. Alright. 4 of the 5 are in. And I'm using this as a guide. What they did is they took A, B, C, D, E, and they pointed on the motherboard where they go. A, there's inscriptions on the motherboard itself. So A goes behind the R. B, which is that one, goes in front of the R, right above the A to C, the one I just did, which was a pain, and I don't know if it's in all the way, but we'll find out. The easy one is D, because there's a circuit board right there, and D goes right on the edge of it. There's a hole. And then E is the pain in the butt, because if you see the picture, they wrap it all the way around. Wrap it all the way around, and it has to go. And the worst thing is, there's 2 holes. Right there. And it needs to go in that one, where it says R7D4. Or that could be a B. I'm pretty sure it's an R. Not R7D6. There are 2 holes. Both of them are accessible to that little port. And I have put it in the wrong hole before. It didn't blow up my Xbox. But I'm just letting you know, this is the guide I'm using. This will save your life if you ever mod an Xbox 1.6. And again, 1.5 volt, it shows you where that goes. Or the 5 volt power, it shows where that goes. Again, that is that chip right there. I don't know what it does, Again, I don't know if you can see that. That's the video encoder. Make sure that's Excalibur, or you won't need this. You'll have to get a different Solos adapter. And the non 1.6 is even harder to find. I have never found it, but it does exist. It's in my other Xbox, which you've seen in my other videos. So yeah, that is easy. The first four are easy. This wraps around and hooks up down there. So, yeah, wish me luck on that one. This is the first one I ever had snap. And then my last one, that one snapped. I promise you, this will be the last time and the only time I say, do not try this at home. But there it is. But I don't know, I haven't tested it yet. She's plugged in. Now, if I did everything right, there should be 5 lights. 5 lights. And I know with the glare you can't really tell. But hang on. There are 5 lights! Yeah, Star Trek fans? Anyone? 5 lights. Which means all the connections are in the right spot. Which means I can mod the Xbox. That is how you install the solderless adapter. Now, if you know how to solder, you don't have to do this at all. You don't have to waste 15 to 20 minutes bending number frickin' 5 or the E pin all the way back behind the board. Whoever designed that needs to, go back to engineering school. Just look at that U. It U's. And if you move your Xbox constantly, that could come out. I've actually had it happen before. So, I have snapped none of the pins, which I've done before. So this is a successful soft mod, or not soft mod. And yes, I know I could have soft modded, but that actually puts stuff onto the E drive, or the E partition, and I want to get the E partition out as is. So in order to do that, on a 1.6 Xbox, you need this spider. This spider is very rare and hard to find. So yeah, I'm going to shut off the Xbox now and hook up the mod chip. Make sure after you're done testing that you actually, for the love of God, unplug the Xbox. And ground yourself. Now, this is the easy part. All you have to do, take these pins and onto the spider. And this thing's really easy because edge of case, right? Edge of the case, there's the pins. You just plug them into the spider. And this is going to be fun, we'll film it with a phone. And don't worry if that hits the spider. Alright, I'm just going to go like that. I'm going to actually find the pins. Edge of case. You'll know, you'll feel it. You will feel the connections. And you can always check. And this, I might have to change if this will not stay on. And it just hooks like I showed you earlier. But I might have to use the other one because this one doesn't seem to want to stay. See, I'm going to swap this out for the other one. So, hang on. Alright, now that the 1.6 spider is installed, what's left is to take the new one, the new red adapter here, because the other one was not doing that, and connect it to the power port, but I'm just going to call it that. And my hands are in the wires, so hang on. Connect it right there. Now it'll seat It shouldn't move. Now I gotta do, point the arrow that way. I'm just gonna move this here for now. Point the arrow that way, which says edge of case. And those pins right there go on that black thing there. But I might have to loosen the screw a little bit and seat that down a little bit more. See how loose that is? Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the screw a little bit. Hopefully without popping the pins. But I'll know more in testing. And you want to double check and make sure you're not missing a pin. This shielding I don't recommend you take off, but you can if you want to. That may or may not hold. And double check the connections. And if everything's working right, it should be modded and ready to go. Again, I don't like how that feels, but it might just be enough. Only way to find out is to test it. Like they say, the only way to find out is to test. It's working. That's the difference between a modded Xbox and a retail. It will power up without a hard drive or ROM drive attached. But I don't know if it'll get past this screen though without the BIOS. Or without the hard drive. So, I'm going to put it all together. Yep, there's the error. So, it needs the hard drive. But I think it's working. I'm going to put everything together and we'll see. Now before I go through the effort of fully reassembling the Xbox, we're going to test it and see if it works. And what to do with this, back in the day when Xbox Live was a thing, people would actually route it through the network cable and glue it on the back. Since Xbox Live is dead, I leave the chip on and I just shove it in there. I make sure metal doesn't touch metal, but I've never had this thing short out. So this is not my first Xbox I've ever modded this way. So I just leave that like that. It should be fine. So we're going to hook this up without the cover on and test it. Moment of truth. Now you'll know. Yep, it works. But since that is a stock hard drive, it's going to go to the dashboard. However, I don't know if Philips can read CDRWs. So this is a burn of Evox. And yes, that one actually will open when you push the eject button. This one does not stick. So we'll see if it reads CDRWs. If not, I'm using Hexen. Or I have to burn it onto a CDR. So I'm using a CDR. Oh, no. It's reading it. And this is how you back it up. You boot from the disk, you hook it up to the network, you FTP it, and you can back up your entire E drive as is. And then you can get a larger hard drive installed, which is what I'm going to do. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. That's how you mod an Xbox. This is DanTech USA. Y'all have a good night.